It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag. It's the emblem for me and for you. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and...
Bill, this week we've got Claremont, and how do you reckon we'll go there? What have they worked on since the last game at East Perth?
Oh look, first of all, when we played them early in the season, they were very good against us. I think they outworked us, out-pressured us. But we still won enough of the ball. But at the end of the day, their hunger was stronger than ours. And from what I've seen from their game on the weekend, that's what it was about. They picked a young side, and they all had a crack, and they bought in hard, and they put CB under pressure. And then with Neitz and Foster and Bradshaw getting ahead of the ball, they were really dangerous in the forward half as well. So we're going to have to be at our very best to beat them.
With the showgrounds, is it pretty well looked after ground-wise?
Oh, I've only seen it on a couple of TV games and the one I saw the other day. Looks a little bit shifting underfoot. Everyone says it's not a bad surface. What it is a bit of a challenge there, it's more circular than a lot of our grounds. It's probably the same sort of dimensions as the MCG. So that'll pose a challenge for us, but I'm sure that it's the same for the opposition, and we'll get out there and work hard and hopefully get away with the victory.
Injury-wise, have we got many problems there?
Yeah, Chris Kernan got a decent poke in the eye, and he's out for at least this week. It might be a couple of weeks. I think bruised retina is what he told me it was. And Matt Gordon had a significant cork early in the game, and he played the game out, so that's bled significantly since then. So he won't come up for this week. Ray Bartholomew's due back, probably not this week. He's an outside chance to play this week, but I expect him to be available for the East Fremantle game. Andrew Cracker's still not quite right. He just had a little mishap with his knee, so he won't play this week either. Other than that, I think we've got a pretty full squad to pick from.
It's pretty good depth because the reserves are going pretty well, aren't they?
Yeah, the twos have been good for a long period of time. They were unlucky to get beaten on the weekend, basically the last kick of the game, which was really disappointing. They worked hard to get back into in front, and then they gave up a stoppage clearance in the forward 50 to East Perth late in the game. So we think there's a significant number of kids doing a good job there and pressing up to play senior footy.
Just a brief one on the state coaching. Like the guys already got good skills, and do you work mainly on just bonding the guys and getting them together, sort of thing?
Yeah, it was. Look, you got to back in the fact that they're the most talented players we've got in the competition. Whilst everyone has slightly different game plans and structures and stuff, they're probably 75-80% the same across the board. So it was a matter of getting them together, picking a really good bunch of guys who could complement each other both on and off the field, and I thought they gelled really well. And whether the opposition was as strong as one of the more traditional states in South Australia and Victoria, you'd say not. But the players did their job and everyone contributed. So it was a really enjoyable experience for me, and I'm sure it was for the players.
The form of the league side's been up and down a little bit, but and the reserves are doing really well. But the group, the enthusiasm would be there at the club.
Yeah, definitely. We've been playing a lot of footy together, us boys now, for the last few years. So definitely the team cohesion's definitely there. But we had a little bit of success in the reserves this year, so kind of a bit better start than last year. But we played in the grand final together last year in both grades, obviously. And that goes a long way to the next season. So yeah, definitely.
Steve, last week was a loss. What do you reckon went wrong there?
I think just our skill execution let us down a lot on the weekend. Just our set shots on goal as well. We tended to miss a lot of easy chances on the weekend, and including myself, I missed a couple that were quite easy. So just hopefully get on the training track this week and practice our skills.
Just that's an interesting one. Like you get every club goes through the situation where forwards are missing goals. What do you do in the following week? You spend a lot of time in front of goals, or it's just a mental thing?
I think it's a bit of both. I know a lot of the guys during the start of training they tend to have a few set shots on goals just to try and practice, and then after training do a bit of shots on goals with pressure on them from teammates. So yeah, and also I think it is a mentality thing. yeah, you just got to have the right mindset when you're going for goal, and just got to be positive.
Yeah. Now this week we're at the Claremont Showground, and the team, we've got a few injuries, but the team's in pretty good spirits.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a few outs, but the guys coming in have really stepped up, and there's a lot of depth in the club with the reserve players. So yeah, the team is in high spirits at the moment, and hopefully we can get a win against Claremont.
Every heart beats true for the red and the blue, and we sing this song to you.